a good example to look at is the British Empire. The British Empire at its peak near the end of the 1800s, it was managing a population of about 450 million people, half a billion. And for that time, that was absolutely huge. This required a huge administration in their colonies. It required a massive deployment of their military forces. And we've got to remember that colonies were for profits. So the more expense it took to occupy and run the colony, you're eating into your profits. So for Britain, having agent rulers or an agent nation or a client nation, it was a solution to territorial occupation. You can either send your forces around a lot of countries around the world, or you get an agent ruler, you win him, you build him, and they do the legwork for you. So it now means your forces can be somewhere else, or you don't need to deploy that many forces. Now, if you're not going to occupy a country, then you do need a ruler to implement your policies. So a good example of this is the relationship between Pakistan and America. America began the war on terror. It needed Pakistan to implement this in South Asia, which Pakistan did. And even though America deployed a lot of troops in the region, it would have had to deploy even more if it wanted to implement the war on terror directly itself. So in many ways, having agent rulers allows you to indirectly rule, not directly, so you avoid the costs. Now, agent rulers, their job is to control the population, to accept the political solutions from the major power. So if you take Egypt as an example, America gives lots of money to Egypt. Egypt is a client nation for America. So America doesn't have to put troops in Egypt. Egypt does it for it. And it's a decent return on investment as far as America is concerned, because, for example, America wanted Egypt to normalize relations with Israel, which it has. And the job of the regime there is to control its population who are against this. Now, if this wasn't the case, then America would have to put troops there. And how many countries are you going to put troops in? You can't put them everywhere in the Middle East. And then finally, we see, for example, the British Empire, in the end, it became quite unprofitable for them to have troops all the way around the world because the colonies were becoming too expensive. So if you do everything yourself, if you occupy everything yourself, it's going to be very costly. You're going to lose some wars. It's going to drain you. So the solution to this is you have agent rulers. So this is why the powers in the world, they want agent rulers because it's an indirect way of ruling and it's a more cost-effective way of ruling.